Hey, we're back at the Joe Hour here, guys.
Welcome to the Talk Radio 3.0.
Yeah, 3.0. That's funny. Yeah.
All right, let's get this going.
Sir.
Man, do I even know your last name? What is your last name?
Mendez Ramos, man. I have two last names. First one's my father's, last one's my mother's last name.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Well, everyone, thank you for tuning in today. I'm here with Cris. I don't even know which last name to go with.
Let's go Mendez.
Cris Mendez.
That's all my the school papers, everything, always Mendez.
Mendez, okay. Thanks for coming in today. We're glad to have you here.
Awesome. Appreciate it, brother. Honored to be here. Appreciate the invite.
For real quick, just let people know who you are, where you're from.
Okay, so my name is Christian Mendez, Christian Daniel Mendez Ramos. You can easily call me just Christian Mendez. Born and raised Los Angeles, California. Lived in K-Town for 16 years, currently in Mid-City. I am 22 years old. I'm a super fitness, I guess you could say fitness enthusiast, fitness advocate, love health, love being healthy. I love helping people see that being healthy is a great way to live, I guess you could say. And currently pursuing my dream and what I want to do with fitness and how I want to achieve it. And that's where we're at right now.
Okay, yeah. Cool. How about, were you born and raised in LA?
Born and raised in LA.
Nice. Yeah. What was your childhood like growing up? What was your upbringing from your parents, that type of thing?
That's a great question. Actually, I'm an only child. I'm an only child. I was raised with my mom. The majority of the time, we lived in an apartment for 16 years. We lived in K-Town from when I was born all the way up until I was 16 years old, and then we moved to Mid-City. But childhood for me was I'm an only child, so it's for me it was always mom wasn't always there. She was always home, but she always had to work, so she always came home at night. She would come home from work and stuff like that. But my childhood was very based off of figuring myself out, who do I want to be, how do I fit in. At the same time, I always had this thing where I noticed that I was very good at blending in, not in a bad way. I was good at very picking up on people's I guess you could say people's slangs, people's attitude, who I want to hang out with, and what I had to do to hang out with them, how to fit in.
Okay.
You get me? So
yeah, that actually leads into what I was going to get into next was, like you were saying, when you find out the crew you want to hang out with and your friends, we end up having to behave a certain way to want to be in that group, whether 100%. It's for good or for bad.
100%.
I agree with that. What was the mindset or attitude you had to take on?
Man, so for me, elementary school was you're just a kid, you're just hanging out with whoever you're cool with, whoever you're rocking with, whoever's cool with you, sharing candies or whatever it is, talking to girls, kind of being funny with them, but at the same time they were just friends. But getting into middle school is when your hormones are kicking in, you're growing up, you're trying to be a cool guy, you're thinking about having a girlfriend and stuff like that. So I remember in middle school it was very I'm from LA, so where I was where I was raised wasn't the best area. At least I don't come from a privileged background or anything like that. Parents were parents struggled a little bit. I didn't have my dad in the picture. My dad was in the picture, so I was about 6 years old. Then he took off, and he had a different family type of thing. But it was a thing where I grew up in a community where it was kind of there was gangs around, gang related a little bit and stuff like that. And I did get into a little bit of that, but I had an amazing mother that always looked out for me and looked out for what was best for me and tried to put me in programs, after school programs, so I at least stay away from stuff like that. But due to that being my environment, that's kind of what I had to do to be cool, to fit in. If I wanted a girlfriend, I couldn't just be I didn't want to be some geeky guy or something like that. But at the same time, that's what I was though. Inside, I was kind of I was a little geeky, but I was a little geeky with baggy clothes. So
yeah,
it was it was crazy growing up, man. I remember just hanging out with certain crews, certain crowds and stuff like that. I remember fights breaking out at school. I remember my school being locked down every other week because gunshots and stuff like that. And
so what were two attitudes you had to take on to be in the surroundings?
Well, you definitely had to not be willing. You definitely had to be willing to fight somebody. If somebody, you can't have somebody look at you the wrong way and you just be cool with them. You can't can we cuss on this? Or?
Yeah.
Okay. If somebody come up to you and be hey bro, where you from, bitch, or something like that. You can't just be oh bro, bro. You have to say what the. You either have to come at an approach yo, I don't bang.
Yeah.
But yo, don't call me a bitch because I don't know you either type of thing. You have to approach it a vibe where you kind of had to mark your place in the sense of I'm not nobody to mess around with that, But at the same time, in the back of my head, I was always I'm not gonna say I was scared to fight, but I was kind of scared to fight. And I would always put up this attitude where yo, like I'm not scared of you. I'll fight you if we have to, but we don't have to fight. I'm not gonna fight you. You know, like if you're willing to just like just break it off here, like yo, what's the point type of thing, you know? But it was never.
What gave you that outlook of like, I'll fight if I have to, but I don't want to? Some, especially guys, man.
Yeah, 100%, man. It was kind of like the environment I was in, man, and like coming up from like a background where I didn't have any brothers, I didn't have any sisters, or like I didn't have like a male role model in my life where they can be like, yo, you have to stand up for yourself. But what I did have was I had a bunch of friends that were guys that did have dads, and some of their dads were gang members, or some of their dads were like, or brothers were like in situations like that. So their characteristics like came onto to my friends. So then when my friends would act like that, I would kind of pick up on that. Okay, that's how I have to act. That's kind of how it has to be, you know? So I would pick up on that, and that would become like, that's what I have to do, and that's what works. And I would pick up on what worked and what didn't work.
What was a time where like it didn't work and it
backfired?
Yeah.
Man, okay. So I remember, growing up in LA, man, there's so many different, I guess you could say, cliques, gangs, like a lot of the like well-known ones. Some people know like 18th Street, some people know like MS, like Manzana Trucha, there's like Florence, there's a bunch of different things. Where I grew up in, at least in middle school, it was called like, it was right on Rampart and 6th. So that was kind of like, that area was known as the heart of MS. Like that's where that gang, like it was like kind of planted in, and a lot of them were around that area. And I remember there was these couple new kids that moved into the school, and like the school ran, like they accept the kids because they have to go to school, you know. So the school, whatever background they're from, however they're dressed, they're accepted. I remember these kids that had just moved from like El Salvador got accepted into the school, and they were like mega gang member, like super ganged out. And they thought somebody had said I was from some other clique, like from Florence or something like that. And I remember they came up to me, some kid came up to me, and he like told me like, hey bro, like his name was, this is kind of cheesy, but the guy's name was Gangster. Gangster. He was from Salvador, and his name was Gangster. And he tells me like, hey bro, like yo, Gangster wants to talk to you, man. He wants to know where you're from or something like that. And I went up to him, had a girlfriend at the time. And I tried to put up this like tough vibe, like, hey man, what's up? Like, what do you want type of thing. And he was like literally trying to fight me, and he had like four other guys come on like bikes. And they were like ready to fight. But then this is after school, so my girlfriend's mom, I used to always hang out at her house and stuff like that. She pulled up in a car, and her mom saw that all these guys were like surrounding me, so she gets out the car, and her like boyfriend at the moment was kind of like a little gang related as well. So she was kind of had that attitude. She's like, yo, like what the fuck, what's your guys' problem, you know, like don't mess with the kid, like yo, get your ass in the car. She gets me from my shirt and throws me in the car. And it's like, what do you guys want, huh? Like, what you want? Like, and then they just like dipped out. But that could have been a very ugly situation if she wouldn't have like shown up at the time she did. You know?
Yeah. Did she give you a talking to?
Yeah, 100%. She gave me a car. Like she gave me a talking. Like, don't. Like, what are you doing? Why are you messing with those kind of kids? Like, you know what that's about. Like, you're smarter than that. Like, doesn't your mom always? Your mom's always on top of you. You know, she knew my mom as well because that was my girlfriend's mother. So she was telling me like, yo, like, is that what you want? Like, is that what you want to do? Like, you should have been in class. Aren't you supposed to be in the program or something like that, after school program? And then she's like, don't worry about that. I'm not gonna tell your mom because I know your mom and she's gonna worry. But you know, like you should really be careful. You should be more careful, especially that you're with my daughter. I don't want my daughter in situations like that. You know.
What was the biggest lesson you learned from all this, like in this environment you grew up in that situation?
Man, well, thank God that my grades weren't the best, so I got kicked out of that school.
Oh.
So due to getting kicked out of that school, my mom works in Topanga Canyon. It's kind of like by Palisades, a little bit before Malibu. You know what Topanga Canyon's at. A lot of people might know where Topanga Canyon is at. She works there, so there's a school called Palisades High School. Okay. Palisades Charter High School there. And it's a very like it's a charter school. It's public, but it's like more like high, like more I guess more how do you call it, more like privileged kids get to go there. So the only reason I got in was because my mom's boss gave her the address to the house, so they thought I lived in Topanga, so I got accepted into the school. But one thing what I learned from it was that like that type of lifestyle, continuing that lifestyle leads to nothing good. You know, there's nothing good that can come from it if you continue to do that. You know, like where's that going to go to? You're going to be an older gang member, an older child, pretty much, where you never grow up. You're just like defending a block that's not even yours. You know, like defending a hood that's not yours. And I noticed that there was nothing there, and part of it like that allowed me to change, at least like I wouldn't say for the better because I was still a wild kid at Palisades. It was just like a crazy situation, but it was more. I noticed that there was different girls there, like there's white girls now there. There's different, like I had to dress differently and talk differently, you know? So I learned to fit in there. Okay. So I picked up that personality, how to like be like, yo, what's up, bro? And like, dude, like I'm down. Let's go like skate. It was like a whole different vibe, you know? I picked up on that vibe, and I started like hanging out with those type of kids, and it was a whole different thing, you know?
Okay. Was it easier to make friends over there compared to the other school?
Yeah, definitely. There was a lot of like inner city kids as well. So the inner city kids were obviously easier to have rapport with, but then you're like forced to be in class with other kids, you know? So other kids, like even though they were privileged, they were still kind of like, It's so crazy because I noticed at least in Palisades, kids that were privileged wanted to be like inner city kids because we had more like funk, we had more like an attitude. We weren't like
that saltiness.
Yeah, we weren't like preppy, you know. We were like, yo, what's up, bro? What's cracking? You know, like we were just like we had more like steez. You know, some of the girls really liked it, especially if you played sports. Like, dude, it was a rap. Like, you had it, man. But yeah, like I've noticed that it wasn't hard for me to make friends. You know, I was like talking to everybody. I was like a cool kid. Like my style. Like I still went there dressed a little baggy, but my style changed the first month. And my mom like never liked how I dressed. So like I was in high school, she's still paying my clothes. You know, boom, like her like $400 the clothes went quick. You know, and she bought me like fitted jeans, like different outfit. You know, so it was like a whole different thing.
Okay, cool. Yeah. It's funny how that just change your outfit changes the way you act and behave.
Yeah, 100%, man. 100%. Like it's just
nice. So we'll take a little break right now and play a game.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. We got little charades here. So you want to try the accents first or the movies first?
Let's do movies first. Let's bring in the movies in.
Okay. So what we're going to do is I'm pulling this up. I'm going to hold it up. He's going to try and describe the movie, and I'm going to try and guess what it is, and then we'll keep switching off.
Okay.
All right. Let's see how this goes.
Let's get it. Okay. When you cut yourself, what is that?
Suicide?
No, when you cut yourself, what comes out?
Blood.
Okay, that's the first name. That's the first name of the movie.
Blood Diamond.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah. Okay. Not clean, but
dirty.
And now you're
dancing. Dirty dancing.
Nice. You eat this. It's kind of like it's a good candy. A lot of people eat it, but it doesn't have an E at the end.
Candy that doesn't have.
A candy and it's dark brown. What kind of candy is that?
Like a chocolate?
Chocolate, but it doesn't have an E at the end. I don't know how you
Chocolate.
Chocolate. Yeah, when you go to Vegas, what are those called?
The casinos.
A casino, yeah.
Casino Royale.
Casino Royale.
Nice.
That's it. Not Mr., but
Mrs.
Miss, and then it's a movie.
Doubtfire.
No. Miss. It starts with a C O. I can't. I'm explaining that.
Miss. Congeniality.
Congeniality. There we go.
Mask off.
No, but what is this?
Face off.
Face off.
Okay.
Face off.
How many did I get here?
There you go. I didn't know how to pronounce congeniality.
That was good though. I got 4, so you got me 4.
Let's do it.
Alright, here we go. So bring it down. You can hold it down here if you want.
Yeah.
Down if you get it right, up if you're gonna pass.
Okay.
Let's see here. Sylvester Stallone.
Rocky. Rambo.
Yes. Whitney Houston sang for this movie. I'll always love.
I know the song, not the movie.
Pass it. It was Bodyguard.
Yeah.
It's just the bare necessities.
Simple.
Jungle. Yeah. Hey you guys. Like 80s movie that had like one character.
The Goonies.
Yeah.
Oh, come on now.
It's a horror movie. I don't actually know too much about it, but she gets blood poured on her.
Evil Dead.
No, she's like on stage and the blood gets poured on her. It's a girl.
Scream.
Name. Begins with a C. Skip it. It's Carrie.
Yeah.
I don't know that one. Skip it. Skip it. Okay. Sanctuary. It's a Disney. He's got like a little bump on his back.
Oh, freaking Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Yep. It's your birthday.
My birthday.
Okay, nice. We'll do one more round, and we'll just switch every other one.
Alright, this is the accent one, right?
Oh, no, that's next game. It's this one.
Eminem.
8 Mile.
8 Mile.
You do it.
Answers.
Leonardo DiCaprio is flying planes. How else did I describe this movie?
He's flying planes.
What would you call someone who flies planes there?
Pilot.
Yeah, but there's like
Co-pilot.
a name. No, it begins with an A.
Autopilot.
Now that's a knife.
That's a knife. That sounds really familiar.
He wrestles. He's from Australia, and he came to New York City, and he wrestles alligator. Well, the other thing, not an alligator.
Crocodile Hunter.
Yeah. First word is right. Second part.
Crocodile Dundee.
Yeah. Look.
Yeah, and then
Look who's talking.
Yeah.
Will Ferrell and the guy from Napoleon Dynamite. They're ice skaters.
Blades of Glory.
Yeah.
I don't know that one. I don't know that. A street cats or a street cats something. I'm not sure.
Okay. Nice.
Okay.
How'd that first round of games feel?
Oh, that was actually fun, man.
Yeah,
got the blood boiling a little bit. That's it.
Nice. So now what I like to get into is like present day stuff, what's going on in your life. The big thing I like to start off with is we all wear masks. Lewis House has been making this really popular. Especially guys, we have masks of masculinity. We're taught, so like you were even saying, when you're in school, like you got to be willing to step up. You can't show that you're too emotional. And guys in general are told to like, you know, be a man, suck it up.
100%.
How has that played a role in your life in a negative way, where like it's worked against you, whether it's in relationships or just work?
Well, I would definitely say the most recent one would definitely be in a relationship where I thought being a man was like I had to have my woman like do everything that I wanted her to do. She has to do everything that I say, and especially living with somebody, that's not maybe the healthiest thing, you know. And I had a girlfriend who was raised with two men, you know, with her brother and her father. So she knew how to like stand up for herself. She knew that that's no way to talk to a woman. And she would try to tell me, and I would get very like ego, very like masculine, like, what are you don't talk to me like that type of thing. You know, and that was like that wasn't very healthy at all, you know. And definitely with friends and like working out, like not recently, but right now, but recently the whole masculine thing has been a thing where I've understood that it's not like it's okay to like act the way you want to act. If you want to be a certain way, it's okay to do it. I definitely think that there's boundaries in the sense of like what should be said and what shouldn't be said. But I definitely feel like who you are as a man shouldn't be hidden. You know, you should embrace who you are, what you represent, and what you want to be. You know.
How have you worked on it yourself? Like, how have you switched from trying to be that typical man and letting yourself be more open?
Man, like in all honesty, from you know, I don't have any male role models in my life in the sense of a father. I have cousins, you know, I have uncles, I have friends that I look up to a lot that I had, like, I guess you could say I did have a father in their life and like taught them how to talk, and I definitely picked up on what they've told me. But I've been very good at like soaking in what I feel is for me, and then kind of just rejecting like that's not for me. I don't feel comfortable with that, you know. So, but from an honest point, man, like I come from a Christian background, you know. I want to say I was always Christian. I was always going to church, whether or not I was listening. That's not true. But recently, I've gotten very into like a lot more like spiritual in the sense of like, well, I definitely can say I've been looking for God a lot more, and I've been reading scripture. And the scripture I've read about what it is to be a man, and how you should be a man, and how a man is like, especially being married or being in a relationship or living in a house where you do have word in a household, and you should always represent yourself in a sense of like, as a strong person who's willing to like help people out, you know, like you're courageous, you're brave, and you talk to people in a sense of like you're there to guide them, you know, and like help them out and be a good role model for them. But in no sense should you like disrespect somebody or think that you have every word where like this is how it is and this is how it should be. It's not like that. It's been more of like understanding and cooperating, and like just more than anything being understanding and just putting your place in the sense of like how like a support system. Like you're like a tree trunk, you know, you're stable, you're safe, people will come and talk to you, and you're able to represent yourself in a sense where like, okay, I can trust what he's saying to me, and I can come to him when I need help, you know. So I've been able to do that for my mother at the moment, and like currently with my girlfriend, I'm trying my best to do that as well, and represent myself in that sense, as well as for my younger cousin, my friends, and whatever I feel I can do for them in the sense of like what I feel it is to be a man. I try to guide them and give them like stability and give them like support, moral support, emotional support, and like show them that it's okay to cry, you know, it's okay to go through stuff. It doesn't mean you have to be a macho, you know. Like there's people that go through certain stuff where they're like that. That's who they made. But I definitely think that's like you're wired that way. But there's a way to unwire it, you know. Like you don't have to be like that. That's like it's a subconscious thing that you're doing. It could be a defense mechanism, something that they've gone through. Maybe they gone through really something as a childhood, or maybe they've been bullied. Maybe it's something that turned them into that, you know. But when you're conscious about it, I feel it's a whole different thing. Where you understand like I don't have to be like this. I don't have to act like this, because like there's this thing in scripture where it talks about a wise man is slow to wrath, meaning that a wise man is slow to getting angry. A wise man doesn't mean he's not going to get angry because you're not perfect, but it means that you're slow to getting angry. You're not going to blow up. You can acknowledge the situation, you can see the situation for what it is, and respond in a way where you're coherent. Whether or not the other person wants to be the same way, that's up to them. But you put yourself in a situation where you take your stress out of the situation. You know, I'm doing my part. This is how I feel. I don't think that's correct. Whether or not you support that, whether or not you agree with that, that's up to you. I just want to let you know how I feel, so then I'm clear-minded. Compared to like you just blowing up, imagine you getting angry, right? And the person's not responding the way you want them to respond to that anger. So they're acting a completely different way. Now you're stressing. Now you're hurting yourself more than you're damaging the other person. You know, you're just angry. You're just like, and like freaking wired, and you're like mad. Compared to acknowledging from a different perspective and being like, yo, like, I don't think that's right. Like, this is why I feel like this, and expressing yourself in like in a clear way, in a transparent way, where the person understands why the situation is like that and why you feel the way you feel. and allowing them to like now show who they are and like explain to me why you feel the way you feel, and I want to understand where that is and how we can come at a meeting point, you know?
Okay. What was the time you had to implement that, being more open to like?
Man, I can definitely say it's been a lot hard. It's been a lot harder with my mother, just because my mom is like in a situation where this doesn't sound. I don't want to say bad, but when they say you can't teach your old dog new tricks type of thing, you know, I can't rewire my mom's mindset due to the fact that she's my mother. And my mother she doesn't like me telling her what to do, you know, or telling her how to act, even when I feel like I'm a little more aware of it, because I have this like, I've gotten to a point in my life where I understand what it takes to get to a point in like where you don't have to stress yourself out, you know, like you don't get angry, like you just kind of calm down and breathe and acknowledge it from your perspective. It's been a lot harder than my mother, but I did struggle a lot with that with my girlfriend. But like we broke up and we got back recently. But before the breakup, we would fight a lot, and I was definitely not slow to being angry. I would blow up quick. It would be whether it was stuff that I was bottling up, I would bottle it up, not even talk about it. And then when I had the last straw, it would just blow up, and she wouldn't even know where it was coming from.
It all gathered up.
It just all gathered, like a bomb, dude. And it would be bad. It was like a bad situation. But then, as I noticed that, like, you know, that wasn't healthy for me more than anything, especially for her, especially her having to like leave the house, how it happened. Like, I noticed that, yo, I don't want to like be like this, you know. I don't want to like be angry like this. Like, imagine I have kids. Am I gonna be like this with my kids? Like, I don't want to be like this with my kids, you know. I want to be able to tell them like, yo, like, even if my kid messes up, you know, I want to give him more support than anything else and explain to him, yo, why, this is why you shouldn't be like that, you know, and like allow him, not tell him like, don't do that, but this is why I think you shouldn't do that, and then let them decide for their own will, like whether or not they want to go that route, so then they learn from their own mistakes. And it's not like dad told me not to do it, or like whatever, like, or my boyfriend told me not to do it, or my husband, or my cousin, or whatever, and just like allowing them to understand, I see where you're coming from, you know, I understand that, I get it, but this is just my advice, and this is what I think, you know. This is just like a suggestion, but in a way, I feel like that suggestion is only valid when it comes from a place of like, I don't, at least, okay, in my perspective, at least from a point, let's say I go from a biblical standpoint, right? As a Christian, we're, I don't want to say we're taught, but our faith is based on the Bible in the sense of like, this is the word of God, and the way it's a living word. It's so crazy to say, like it's a living word in the sense of when you read it, you can relate. There's certain things that go on in your life where you relate to it. And it tells you how to go through that, you know? And it's crazy when you listen to it and you pray about it and you go through it, it's crazy how it all works together and you see dots connect due to that, because like everything, especially coming from like a Christian standpoint, we believe in Jesus Christ and we base our faith in Jesus Christ and the way he lived and what he's taught us and how we're supposed to act, right? And his whole concept is love, you know? Concept is love, understanding, being humble, turn the other cheek, don't pick fights, you know, be supportive. Like, it's very like, you have to learn to understand and like appreciate people for who they are. Not, you don't have to necessarily just support them for what they do, even if it's wrong, but not judge them. You know, because if you judge them, you're pushing them away. But if you bring them closer to you and you accept them for who they are and show them a different way out, that's where it's all at. You know, that's where it's like, damn, like that's what it takes. You know, that's what the world needs. The world needs like support and love and like no judgment. You know, it's just like people understand where we're all coming from.
What do you do with that? That's great advice, by the way. What do you do for those people like you were saying, like your mom? Because we all, it's easy to implement on the people who are also open, but more often than not, you're going to have those hard heads. Mm-hmm. So what do you do when you're face to face with someone who isn't as open as that, and they're just trying to shove their way down your route? What's your method?
What I've learned, the best, man, actions speak louder than words. When they start acting like that, you kind of like, in a way, express yourself in a sense where like, you like let them see that you're breathing and you're holding what you want to say back, and you walk away from the situation. And you come back when the freaking fire just died down. And then you talk about it when they're in a better state of point, and you come at them from a perspective where like at least with my mom, I've been like, Mom, I love you, and I don't want to be arguing like this. I don't want to fight, but don't you feel like this would be a lot better if we handle a situation in this way? You know, because like one example that I can give, it's just me and my mom in a house. You know, I'm not gonna say it's not the man's job to clean. That's a horrible thing to say, but I'm busy as well, and I didn't grow up cleaning, so cleaning for me is kind of tough. You know, I can do the dishes, I can make my bed, but dusting stuff and like I'm bad at it, man, because I don't know how to do it. But my mom cleans houses for a living. You know, my mom came in with that like old school like Latin, following the dream, make some money. She cleans houses for a living. Like cleans houses for people that are obviously a lot more benefited than we are and a higher advantage. She cleans houses for them and makes good money up to this point. Makes enough money to pay where we're living and everything. I pay rent as well, by the way. I don't want anybody thinking my mom. I pay everything I have to pay, but it's to a point where like if the house is like a mess or something like that. Let's say this is a better example. Let's say I do my best to keep the house clean, right? Let's say I do all the dishes, I even dry them, put them away, I prep our food, and then it's ready. Let's say my mom comes home. I make lunch for my mom, by the way as well. Let's say she comes home and she leaves all her like dishes there, and she leaves them on the table, and then she like goes to the restroom, the towel's like on the floor or something like that, and then she's tired, you know, I understand it. But when she's tired and I try to tell her like, Mom, why can't you just like wash it and put it away? It takes the same amount of effort, you know, just wash it, put it away, and then boom, the house is clean, you know, it's a teamwork. No, I'm tired, I do this all day, why can't you just help me? Like, I'm helping you, just do this little part for me where like, we can both do it, you know? But if I tell the point where she's stressed, it's not gonna work. But if she sees me, when she sees me doing it, and she sees me doing it for her, in a sense of like, then I don't want to say she feels bad, but she's like, okay, it's not that hard. It only takes me like a minute to do. I can do that. You know?
How when you do it this new method of being more open and more patient, how has she responded? Does she respond better? Is it still the same?
No, she 100% responds better. 100% responds better as long as I'm consistent with it. You know, if I break that consistency, it all goes haywire.
Okay.
Because her mentality isn't to the point of yet of like we're on the same page. It's more of like, oh wow, Christian's acting different. Like I should be helping out as well. I need to do my part as well. But if I go haywire, if I just like stop doing it, or if I just like say something or do something that she doesn't like or something like that, you know, then it just flips the switch. It's like, man, like it bumps it out, kind of goes haywire. You know, that you can only go up. You can only go up, but you don't want to take 5 steps forward and then take like 10 steps back.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like it's a thing where as long as I'm consistent with it and I'm showing her respect and mutual respect, and I'm consistent with that, it goes very good.
Okay.
But there is times where it can go a little haywire due to like one little mistake that happens.
Sure.
Or one bad thing being said.
Yeah, no one's gonna be perfect, but
yeah.
I like that you brought up that it's consistency, because that is big. You have to
Yeah.
show that you're at least trying and you're doing
100%, 100%. It's not just for that moment, just to break that feeling, but it's like, you know what, this is how it has to be from here on out.
Yeah,
That's
even me and my girlfriend, we get into fights, we try to do that. I can't
Yeah.
say we're perfect
Yeah.
100% of the time, but we almost laugh when we do it and it works, because we're both very stubborn. If we both
Yeah.
have a point we want to make, we're gonna make sure we make those points. It's just
Tell me about it.
clashing.
Yeah.
And so like when we actually stop and acknowledge like, all right, I'll take a break, you take a break, and then we talk, and then it's like, here's how I feel, I just want to let you know this, and then she does it. We kind of laugh because it's like we got rid of all that like butting heads, and we got both our points across. And
instead of making it seem like we're trying to prove a point, it should be more like, I want to come to an understanding. Like it's like, of course I want you to understand my point, and I need to understand yours, but we need to understand a mutual understanding for this to work.
Yeah.
You know?
My last guest, Phil, said he's learned to do it where I debate with people not to make my point known, but so I can use someone else's opinion to lift the truth out of it.
100%.
I like that.
That's amazing, man.
And then the other thing I've heard is there's a reason we have 2 ears and 1 mouth. So we
Yeah.
should be listening twice as much.
It's so crazy, man. You know what's so wild, that a lot of these concepts, even when it comes to motivation and people that write motivational books, a lot of these concepts, it's so crazy, were first seen in the Bible before anything else, man. Before anything else. It's so crazy whether people want to see it or not, but it's like they're first in the Bible how to like approach a situation. And it even says in scriptures about 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason or something like that. And it says like we're given the ability to like declare. You know, like when they say like the pen is mightier than the sword, in the sense of like violence doesn't solve anything. You can talk these things out. You can declare certain things in your life that give you these a power of vision and these things that you can do like to declare. Like it's so crazy where like after like the breakup with my mom, I've declared certain situations where I don't want this to happen again. I declare like abundance and gratitude and love over my life. Like I don't want to live like this. I'll pray to God. I'll say it like to God. So just because I feel a lot more. That's where my faith is established. But I noticed that before situations, even when I go to certain situations, before I go to the gym, before like I hang out with my girlfriend, before I'm about to tackle a tough situation, I kind of like pray about it. I guess you could say it's like a self-evaluation, or you can say like I guess for people, let's say you're not Christian, right? Let's say for someone else it would be considered a positive affirmation, right? For me, it's like I pray and I ask like a simple prayer for me would be like, God, I just want to let you know that whatever I want to go, I want you to guide me through this. May your will be done. Whatever you want me to do, may it flow through me. May people see you inside of me and allow me to be a good vessel for somebody. You know, allow me to lift somebody up. Allow my words to be kind. Allow my words to be simple. Allow my words to be understanding. I just pray abundance over my life and that you guide me through my day today. You know, or something like that. And when I start off my day like that, I notice how I'm more grateful for what's happening, and I don't stress over anything, man. Even like if I'm at work or something like that, and something's going haywire, I see everybody else stressing out, and then everybody sees me calm. And it's so crazy where I'm like, I'm sure you heard the concept where it says stressing is like a rocking chair. It gives you something to do, but it doesn't get you anywhere.
Yeah.
You know, action gets you somewhere. So once you start stressing, you're not doing anything besides giving yourself a headache. When you're like, okay, this is what I gotta do, then go do it. I tell people I tell people, don't stress over what you can't do, what you can't fix, because you can't fix it. And don't stress over what you can't fix, because you can fix it. Then fix it, you know? Yeah, it might take a little bit of work, but fix it. You're stressing over about it, it's just gonna give you a headache, you know? Don't be like, oh yeah, like some people might be like, I'm stressed out, I'm gonna go smoke. I'm stressed out, I'm gonna go freaking, let's say lift weights or something. I think lifting weights is a great way to like relieve stress because it's a positive thing. As long as you're not going and like lifting some heavy shit and you're causing pain on yourself, you know, like you're just there to hurt yourself. But if you're lifting in a way where it's positive and it's an affirmation of, I'm gonna go lift because I'm gonna blow off some steam, I'm gonna like release some freaking endorphins, I'm gonna open up some endorphins, get this good pump, feel really good about myself, and then I'm gonna tackle the situation, you know? And so you're just putting it aside for that moment to do that. Compared to going somewhere to say like, for example, I don't have anything against people that smoke. You know, people want to smoke, that's their thing, that's their niche. At least for me, when I used to smoke weed a lot. But it would be an escape for me. You know, and I would get away from it, I would feel high, I would put some music, I would be distracted. But my problem was always there. I never tackled my problem. Compared to now where I lift weights, I come back and then I tackle my problem because it makes me feel a lot better. Some people can do it with weed. Some people can smoke and do what they have to do. I wasn't able to do that, you know? So it's like a type of thing where like, it's just being able to like kind of like take control of that situation and understand that you're a lot stronger than what your situation is and you have the power to overcome that, you know? Where you establish your faith and where you base your faith, that gives you the power to overcome that. That's what people need to like figure out, you know?
Yeah.
Because I notice that, I notice a lot of people sometimes like say they have standards or say they have morals, but when you don't, it's not like you have, well, not specifically, but it's not like people have a book that's written and it's like, okay, these are Cris Mendez standards and morals. These are written down. These will never change. This is where it's at. We don't have that. So we don't have a base foundation of where we set ourselves and what we feel is right. It's gonna always be changing, and it's gonna constantly be changing. Just how kids are like, I'm just gonna smoke. That's all. That's all I'm gonna do is smoke. Next year, like, I'm gonna do a little bit of coke. You know, so I'm never gonna do meth though. You know, or something like that. And it gets hectic. Or I'm just gonna like, let's say, I don't know. Okay, let's say an example with these girls that like a lot of girls that take pictures sometimes like, oh, I'm a model, but I'm not gonna show too much skin or anything like that, you know. But then they know that in order to get followers, you gotta show some cheeks, you know. You gotta show some like, for people to get followers. So I'm never gonna do that, and then they start doing that, you know. And it's always changing and changing and changing, and they're always looking for this happiness, but it's like never ending, you know, because you don't really know what it is that's gonna make you happy. They're just chasing this thing that's like, I don't know what it is, you know.
I think it has something to do with us, especially in this day and age, not feeling good enough. We always
100%.
compare ourselves to other people, and you know, for better or for worse, it just like our parents' generation before, they didn't have to worry about that because you just had what work you were focusing on.
And there wasn't like social media or anything.
Yeah,
you were constant people like judging
and
who
it's
you
the
are.
highlight reel of what they're doing, for sure.
Yeah.
What about triggers? Like, do you have any triggers that just set you off? Like something someone could do that you'll go 0 to 100 real quick?
Yeah, I got triggers when like some of my small triggers I'm trying to fight with it when people don't see my point of view and when people don't listen to me. Like I'm talking to them and they don't hear me and they don't listen to me and I'm just like, yo, I'm fucking talking to you. Listen to me, like I'm trying to prove a point or something like that and I'm not being heard, you know? But sometimes it's the way I'm approaching the situation why I'm not being heard compared to being like, hey, what I want to tell you right now, can you please listen to me? And just like, I'm gonna tell you this in a way where I want you to understand it and I want you to pay attention. So like that means you gotta put the phone down, you know? Type of thing where I have triggered when I'm misunderstood or when people are judging me, or I hate when people are telling me what to do and I don't want to do that. You know, that's not what I want to do. You know, something comes to family when they try to give me advice or something like that's just not what I want to do.
Was there a situation where that happened and it got you in trouble?
Yeah, got me in trouble.
Or like backfired? Or anything?
Oh yeah, maybe maybe the best one I can say I see just like entrepreneurship, meaning you create your own route. You know, you create your business. You don't work for anybody. I'm paving my own path. Let's say I decided to do that, right? Let's say I quit my job, I drop out of school, and then I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna start coaching, and I'm gonna just fire my ass because I have no money, but I know fitness, so I know this is a route for me. I'm gonna choose this. So I start doing that, right? And let's say now I'm fucking broke, and now I can't pay rent, now I can't pay this, and now they're constantly telling me, why don't you go back to school? You got financial aid. Then I'm not go get a job, go do this. I don't want to do that because I have this vision in my head, and I know what I want. And it's like they're telling me this, and I'm like constantly like, no, that's not what I want to do. Like, and then you say some hurtful shit because you're mad.
Yeah.
You guys don't know what the fuck you're doing. You're like old school. You have an old mindset, and like you guys don't understand what this is about. Like you think I want to work? I don't want to be like you or something like that. You know, you say mean shit. You know, because you're mad, and it backfires. And then now you gotta go. You gotta like fix yourself because you just hurt yourself, and you just hurt like a bridge that you have with your family. And now you can't even go ask them for like ketchup now. You know? Especially because my family, a lot of my family like neighbors, man. So then you go and like now you have to fix that situation, you know. But it's different when I noticed that I'm taking care of what I have to take care of first, because obviously I can't just leave like all the bills to somebody, or I can't just leave all my problems to somebody and then I just go out and like do what I have to do, you know. Like It's different when I take care of what's most important at the moment, but still never forgetting why I'm here and what I have to do and what I want to do and what's my future gonna be. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
With that comes, I feel like we can only reach our full potential when we learn to become ourselves and who we truly are and don't pretend to be someone else, because it takes just as much energy to pretend you're someone just to get liked than it's just being yourself, so you might as well be yourself, because either way people aren't going to like you.
100%. You're a lot more happy when you're yourself.
Yeah,
a lot more happier. And you're a lot more happy when people accept you for who you are.
Yeah.
You know, because if you're trying to fit in somewhere that's not you, you're constantly, it's so much, it's draining, man. It's so draining. It's just, you're not yourself. You're just freaking trying to please somebody else, and even if that doesn't even please them, then you're like, what the hell do I do now? You know, you just completely change your identity. It's not.
I call it the dancing in the mirror moment, because it reminds me of when I was a kid growing up. I'd be one person at school, and then when you're home, you have the music playing, you're looking from the mirror, you're dancing, doing whatever.
That's so crazy.
And then my brother or someone walks in, and it's like, I wasn't doing anything.
I used to get down Michael Jackson.
What is your dancing in the mirror moment when no one else is watching? What does Christian look like when he's his most authentic self? How does he behave? What's his?
Dude, I want to be honest, man. I think I'm my most authentic self when I'm in the gym.
Okay.
When I'm in the gym, man, because when I'm in the gym, like a lot of people like about music, they listen to music. I'm sure like everybody like top of the notch songs they heard 8 Mile or something like that. Freaking Lose Yourself. If you work out, that's got to be a song that you at least heard at one point in your life. To like Collapse, like all those stuff. I have my gym playlist. But I noticed that I have the best workouts when it's no music and I'm focused and it's all grinded out. Or when I put like it's called like personal development. I'm sure everybody's heard those like motivational videos when people are talking and stuff like that. But I'd rather listen to that than music sometimes, just because like let's say I'm listening to music and all I hear is like bitches and booty and fucking
it's not inspirational.
It's not inspirational, but when I'm hearing like, you gotta grind this shit out, like this story's about this, and like you gotta mark your legacy, and you gotta like you gotta like stand up for what you believe in, and you're gonna have people doubting you and this and that, but it's like a coach in your ear. And I'm listening to that, I'm looking at myself in the mirror, and like, this is who I am, this is who I want to be, this is what I'm about. And then you start getting ideas, like shit just starts clicking in my head of like how I can help people, how I can open up a facility, how I can start hit camps, fake camps, I can open up like a gym in a poor community, and how I can do it and the steps to doing it. And stuff just starts clicking. That's when I feel like I'm on my most authentic self, because that's when creativity is actually flowing out of me. That creativity isn't, it's being influenced, but it's not being given to me. It's just like somebody like taking it out of me, and like showing me who I am and what I can do and what's possible for me. Some people find that when they're like painting, they see what they want and like what they want. This is gonna be an art museum someday or something like that.
Yeah, so it's finding your activity that allows you to be the most creative.
That's where my passion's at right now. Just like fitness is like my main asset. That's my main output right now.
What's the biggest struggle or attribute that's holding you back from becoming that right now that you have to battle?
I'm still at a point where I don't think I'm good enough, because I see people that I see physiques that I want to have, but you can't look at somebody else's body and be like, I want that body, because maybe that's not you, that's not your genetics, you can't get to that, But there's times where I struggle, because a lot of my friends, like, at least the friends that I work out, they're obviously a little bigger, they're like stockier, like I wish I had that size. But I've definitely been able to build really good foundations, and a really good physique, and I can definitely say I look better than the average person that doesn't work out. That's like given, But what holds me back is when I look in the mirror and I still don't see what I want to see. Or I step on the scale and I'm the same weight, I'm eating all these meals, I'm not waking up on time though, but it's like I'm like doing little things that I know I should be doing, but I don't do it because I don't think I'm ready yet, And I feel like that's what holds me back. But at the same time, that's what motivates me, because I'm not there yet. Once I'm there, like I don't want to just wake up one day and be there. I'm gonna miss out on the whole journey, Like this is part of it. I know this story, like I know where I'm going and where I'm going. I know this story's gonna one day like help somebody out, motivate somebody. And I know what people have done for me and what those people that I looked up to have done for me. And it's like I want to do that to a person, but it's in such a different way, where I want to connect with them and actually get to see them. Have rapport with them, have this like connection, and people will be able to say like, damn, it wasn't for that guy, or like, that guy got me through this, or that guy got my family through this, that guy got me to lose this weight, this guy gave me confidence, but like, at the same time, it wasn't me, it was you. I was just a vessel for you. You did all that shit on your own. I didn't work out for you, I didn't feed you, I didn't eat for you, you did that. I was just guiding you through it. That's why I'm here.
Nice. That's awesome.
It's crazy,
that's
man. Dude, it's wild, man.
It's good that you're able to not only have the self-awareness to recognize that, but then realize what it is you need to do, because a lot of people recognize it and then they just stay in that whole comparison.
I don't have it all figured out. I still go through it, you know. I still wake up. I still, my alarm goes off, and I'm like, shit, my house is cold. I don't want to get out of these blankets for warm. You know. And at the same time, it's like, I don't want to be the guy that's like, I don't want to say do as I say, not as I do. You know, I'd rather be do as I do, and listen to what I say. You know, kind of thing. Like,
yeah. What about in terms of vulnerability? What makes you feel the most vulnerable?
It makes me feel the most vulnerable. This doesn't sound crazy to say. No, not even. You know what? This is not even crazy. Not being loved. You know, not like giving so much and then not getting that back from the people you want to get it back from, or investing so much time in people, whether it be a girlfriend or friends, and then they just reject you, or you're just like broken down because you had so much hope for that. You know.
And how can you work on bettering that vulnerability, or opening yourself up to that vulnerability so it's not as much of a concern?
Yeah, I can definitely say learning to love yourself for who you are, and understanding that you are not your current situation. You know, you are what you choose to make out of that current situation. You know, and for me, it's always been like, I always say it from a Christian standpoint. It's always been like learning that, you know, you were put on this world for a certain reason, and there's this spirit inside of you that's meant to like serve the world. It's meant to make the world a better place. The same way there's like entities out there that like I don't want to say like when I say the devil, I don't always picture like this guy with a freaking pitchfork and like horns. You know, when we say the enemy, when I say the enemy, I'm talking about like shame. I'm talking about anger. I'm talking about like insecurities. I'm talking about like violence. I'm talking about stuff that is against like love and against stuff that makes people feel good. That's what I call the enemy. You know, like you battle your own best asset and your own worst enemy at the same time. You know, you can be your own worst you can be your worst critic. You know, so it's like things when you learn to love yourself and you like let this love embrace like who you are, like where you're not cocky, like you're confident in what you are and who you are, but you never like bash on somebody. You just like, have you ever seen Coach Carter?
Yeah.
What's that speech he says? It's on the tip of my tongue. I've heard this so many times. Give me a second. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our own darkness, that frightens us. And it says like when we choose to shine bright, we subconsciously give other people permission to do the same thing. Our own light. It's kind of like the whole point of that speech is saying that when you accept when you accept yourself for who you are and what you want, and you embrace that and you give off this light from yourself, you're giving other permission. You're giving people the other permission to do the same thing. You're saying like, yo, if I can do this, you can do this. You can shine bright. You can love yourself. You can have passion. You can be like driven. You can do this. You know, this isn't just something special that I get. We all have this. I'm just a little more aware of it. You know, I'm a little more aware of it. You can do the same thing. You know, like choose to do that. You can choose to be happy. Like the same way, like you can choose not to be overweight. You can choose like to stop doing like drugs. You want to, or you can choose whatever the person may be. These are just like how do you call it? These are just scenarios that I'm giving due to my current situation. Yeah. You know, I have in my environment there's people that are like overweight. In my environment there's people that do drugs. In my environment, where I've grown up, that's what I have. Your situation might be different. It might be different. People that battle with whatever they battle with. You know.
Final question I like to ask my guests is finding their aha moment. Mm-hmm. So, what was your aha or breakthrough moment where you found the real you that you want to be and allow people to see it?
Man, I would definitely say my aha moment came at I don't want to say early age. It definitely came when I remember it came when I had graduated high school from a continuation school. I wasn't necessarily late. I was supposed to graduate 2013, like May, as that was my year. Like no flunking, no nothing, no repeating a year. That was my year. But I got kicked out in like March, and my graduation date was supposed to be in May. So then I got sent to continuation school and I had a bunch of catching up to do. And I caught up. I remember that I started working out and I started being focused and I stopped hanging out with crowds that I wasn't supposed to hang out. I was working out, doing homework, because I wanted to see me walk the stage. I wasn't able to make the deadline for that day, but I finished all my work by December. So I was still considered a graduate of 2013. So they gave me my diploma, but they told me like, yo, if you want to walk the stage, you're gonna have to wait till next year and you can come back. you know what, I want my mom to walk the stage, I'm gonna do that. So I got a job for the meantime, I was working, Then I came back to walk the stage. But it was so crazy because I was in continuation school. I remember nobody believed I graduated. You know, my aunt didn't believe it. I don't know, she thought I just somebody gave me a paper and I did some tests and like a GED, you know. But I remember when I was really getting into fitness and I started working out, when people finally started noticing it, and they're like, yo bro, you look good. You're like, oh, like, what are you doing? And it wasn't like, oh bro, like, dude, I just fucking lift heavy. And like, no, it was like, bro, like, honestly, it's not that hard, man. Like, it's just, you just gotta run a little bit. I was doing push-ups and I used to love talking about it. Because I used to love somebody telling me like, bro, can I go with you? I'm like, fuck yeah, like, dude, let's go. You know, like, I was so pumped up by like having like, not being a leader, but just guiding people, like, yo, come with me, like, let's go, let's do this together, you know? And I have so many different gym partners, man. But I remember this moment when I was working out, and I was listening to music, and like I told you, everybody's listening to like Lose Yourself, everybody's heard like all these, like 50 Cent, I used to listen to like Patiently Waiting, I used to listen to like freaking, all these songs I'm sure people have heard, but it was to a point where like, okay, I've heard these songs so many times, I need something different to motivate me. I'm like, what can I listen to? I don't know what the hell to listen to, like, shit. And I remember going on YouTube, and I put workout motivation. And I remember this freaking, a bunch of videos came out, but there was this one channel that stood out the most. And I'm sure if you heard these videos, it's called Matias M.
Okay, I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, it's called, well, the guy's channel's name is Matias M. If you guys want to get like motivated and you guys haven't seen like any of these videos, called Matias M. I'm gonna say, I forgot how you spell it, but Matias M. Just look up motivational video and put Matias M. I'm trying to spell that to the best of your ability, I'm sure it'll pop up. But he has a bunch of videos where he makes dope freaking edits of like motivational moments in like movies when they say like the best quotes or something like that, or he'll say stuff himself or something that like really catch people's attention. Like that one, our deepest fear is not ever inadequate, or do like have you seen Remember the Titans?
Yeah.
Like, come on Bobby, come on, you can do it, don't give up on me. Like he'll put those things in the videos, you know, and like put like in perfect moments when you're working out. It's just like, fuck, that was like the perfect moment. I remember the first video I ever saw, first ever motivational video in that sense, like a speech instead of music, I ever saw was it's called Be Phenomenal. And I remember I'm like, Be Phenomenal. I clicked it, and the first voice that came out was Greg Plitt. I don't even know Greg Plitt. Yeah. Dude, and Greg Plitt like used to say some crazy shit. And when you put some music, some motivational music behind Greg Plitt's speeches, it gets you going, man. And I remember he talked about this thing where it's like, you know, like, what did he say, man? I remember, I've seen the video so long, but I remember saying, he said something about like you don't want this. Do you really want this? How bad do you guys want this, man? You gotta be able to get up on your couch. Like, you gotta be able to stand up. You gotta wake up with a purpose. You gotta love this. You gotta live for this. That's the only way you're gonna find it. That's the only way you're gonna make it work. Like, you need to get in the gym. You gotta love this. You gotta love every rep. Be grateful for every rep. Be grateful for every step you're taking. You gotta like hold your hand up high, victorious, like you just came out of war. Like you gotta love this. You gotta embrace it. And you gotta mark your legacy and leave your legacy. What is your legacy? And I remember from that point on, like it was just like that name clicked. Legacy. I just love that. And then I created my Instagram. It was called Cris Legacy. And it was always about from my point where I started seeing like, damn, like I want to be like Greg Plitt. And I remember seeing him like freaking like, he would come down an escalator at the airport and there would be people waiting for him, like kind of like fans, but supported him, you know? They didn't praise him, but they were like appreciate him for all the stuff he would say, because he's changed people's lives. He's had people get off their fucking couches and work out. And I want that. I want to give back like that. I want something. How can I do that? And I'm like, damn, I can do it in so many different ways. Like all these things started clicking. I can start hit camps. I can start a center. I can start groups. I can do videos on YouTube. What can I? Like all these stuff started clicking. And I remember I started like Cris Legacy. And I started moving towards it, and then it gets into a whole other like story of how I wanted to do it. And then but I remember like up to this point, like I have that where I know how I want to do it and what I want to do, but at the same time I'm just like scared of whether or not people are gonna follow it. Because I know I need people to hop on with me in order for me to have this. You know, I can't just do it on my own. You know, I can't help people on my own. Like, people need to want to be helped. You know, and it was that moment where it was just like, shit, like, this is what I want to dedicate my life to, and this is what I want my career to be, and this is what I want my legacy to be.
That's awesome. You know? And I think we were kind of talking about this before we started filming, was we can't worry so much about that. We just got to put out quality content and make sure we keep sharing it and showing truly what we want to present and give to people, and they'll come. It might take a while, but
it might take a while, but people support you with what they can relate to and what they appreciate, you know?
Exactly.
If you're giving back and you're telling people like, yo, like, you're fucking amazing, you got this power within you, you can do whatever you want to do, like, literally do whatever you want to do, you know, like, damn, like, it's possible, you know, it's out there for everybody. Whether how you want to do it. Like, you want to lose weight, you can lose weight. You want to make some money, you can make money. But of course, like, you gotta be driven by a force that's good. You know, you gotta be driven by good intentions. Because if your intentions aren't good intentions, like, it might come to you, but they're gonna be like, is this it? Why am I still not happy? You know? And I feel part of it is always like having something that gives back. You know, because you just want to make money, you can do certain shit. You can be a schemer and have all these like plans, and you make money, you have people investing, or you do stocks and you blow up, right? And now you have a bunch of money. But what was your? Oh, I want to be able to have like, I want to be on islands. I want to have like 30 Lamborghinis. I want like bad bitches in my room. You know, like that type of thing. Like, yeah, some people might find that like appealing. You know, I might be happy. That might be what they want. At the bottom line is like, I feel like that's all it covered too. But it's like, man, like what fulfillment does that bring? You know, like what are you really doing? You know, but it's like when you have all that, like not the women, not that, but when you have like, let's say you're wealthy and you're set, you're financially free. They just say that you don't worry about your financially free could be like here, like in this place. Some people could be financially free where they're set here. You know, but some people might want more, or some people might get more and they're grateful for what they have, but they give back in a tremendous amount, you know, because they know that other people need a lot of stuff as well, you know. But just being able to give back, giving back to food would be the biggest asset, the biggest thing.
Okay. Chris, thank you for coming on. What is your social media handles, ways for people to reach you?
Oh, definitely, man. So if you guys want to follow me, my Instagram is chris.legacy. It's CRIS.legacy, LEGACY. If you guys ever want to email me or contact me, I have an email as well at chris.legacy1@gmail.com. If you guys have any questions about like macros or nutrition or like workouts and stuff like that, you can always check out my Instagram, see what I'm about, and then see if that's something you guys want to do. I do upload like videos constantly of stuff I want to post, like motivational videos. I have a YouTube channel as well. It's Cris Mendez for YouTube. And I have a couple videos up there. I haven't been as consistent with it. It's definitely something I need to have. Sorry about that, guys. Something I definitely need to hop on again. But yeah, for right now, it's Chris Legacy and chrislegacy1@gmail.com.
Awesome. Thank you for coming on, man.
Yeah, but thank you for having me.
I hope you guys got some great nuggets of information on here, and we'll definitely be sure to post all that. Ways to reach you on the show notes.
Awesome, brother. This is it, you know. Thank you so much.